Hi everyone, I'm Emily Longeretta.
And I'm Michael Schneider, and welcome to Variety's Awards Circuit, where we're looking at some of the key television categories in this year's Primetime Emmy race. And this time we're looking at the Outstanding Limited Series / Anthology category. And Emily, why don't we kick things off with a show we had never even heard of,
No one saw this
literally a month ago.
Absolutely no one saw this coming. Baby Reindeer.
Woman stalking you?
Yeah, like 6 months maybe.
Why'd it take you so long to report it?
I think she needs help. She comes to my work, my house. She sends me emails like all the time.
Of course, this was created by Richard Gadd, and it has become the talk of the town. I mean, you can't walk into a room without someone talking about Baby Reindeer.
Yeah. And it's become sort of a news story as well, because
Absolutely.
the real life people who are depicted in Baby Reindeer are now going public and complaining about their depictions.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is based on a true story, the whole no press is bad press sentence kind of gets into the conversation. I think that people are talking about this and people have a little bit of a question mark of what is real and what isn't, and then they're watching the show more. I think it's just causing people to continue to watch the show, which is the whole point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of conversations, I think, are being had as a result of this, and that's a good thing. It's a powerful television when you are able to do that. And by the way, there's actually no Baby Reindeer in Baby Reindeer.
There is no Baby Reindeer. It's a really important note.
Just like Fargo doesn't actually take place in Fargo, but
Very important.
It's a fantastic show as well, and Fargo is back.
She's claiming it never happened.
Never what now?
She's a wolf in sheep's clothing, that one.
Honestly, I'm embarrassed by all the fuss.
This season is probably one of my favorites
Yeah.
of the bunch. Noah Hawley did a really fantastic job of resetting it, and of course with this cast, starting with Juno Temple, who kicks some major butt,
Yes,
of course.
she does.
John Hamm as well, who, as we mentioned before, is in every episode of Awards Circuit this season because he's on every television show. But he is brutal in this.
There is no one on God's green earth who is a greater enforcer of the laws of this land than Roy Tillman.
This is a show that's been nominated already at the Globes. Overall, the Fargo franchise has won 6 Emmys.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's definitely in for a few more this time out.
100%. I think they added so many incredible people to the cast, and one of the ones I wanted to throw out there in the supporting character category was Joe Keery, because he really shined in my eyes in a world that a lot of people saw him in Stranger Things and thought that that was kind of what he did. But this show and Noah Hawley's writing and creating of this really made him shine, and that's just something that the power of the Fargo universe has.
All these folks, though, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and you had Lamorne Morris and Sam Spruill playing a character. If you have not watched this season of Fargo, the character that Sam Spruill plays is unlike any others. It's only through the mind of Noah Hawley that we would get a character like that.
Exactly what I was going to say.
I'm so glad Fargo is back, and that's definitely a front runner, and it was the definite front runner until Baby Reindeer came along.
That's
and
right.
Now it's a race.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Those were not the only two, because there's another show that's...
Another one that came out was Ripley.
He just wouldn't go away.
You like art, Tom? You're in the right place.
You like art, Tom? Well, you're in the right place.
Taking on the world that we all saw in the film years ago, The Talented Mr. Ripley. A bit of a different take on it, but it was also nominated for Breakthrough Limited Series by the Gotham TV Awards. This means people are talking about it and people are watching. It's all in black and white, which is something that stands out in a way. It makes you really want to keep watching it. I would say this one surprised me the most, as when I turned it on that I had to keep watching it. The situation that they put Andrew Scott and Dakota Fanning in a light that we hadn't seen either of them in before is something that really is why this is part of this conversation.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous. Every shot looks like a painting, or it looks like an amazing photo. It's a shot unlike anything else. It makes you definitely want to go to Italy, if not for the murder.
Maybe we'll skip over the murder.
Yes. All right, let's move on to another franchise that's back, True Detective Night Country.
Working on this new case. A missing scientist. Found on the edge of the villages. Frozen solid.
And I gotta say, I love what Issa Lopez did with this franchise. She reinvented it and put the focus on Jodie Foster's character and Callie Reese, who's a real revelation, who is a boxer who can act.
You cannot look away from her when she is on the screen.
So fantastic, and the relationship between the two of them, I mean, it is watching a boxing match, the sparring between those two, but also just that setting, that cold setting, shot all the way in Iceland. It's set for a small town in Alaska that's in the middle of dark, so you don't know what time of day it is. It's so disorienting. But these characters and the relationships, it's brutal. And it's really not even so much about the murder at the heart of it. It's about these characters and the predicament that they're all in this land at the end of the world.
The True Detective world is something that people have seen before, like Fargo, but once again, it needed a reinvention, and she did it very well.
Welcome to the night country.
That's right. Next up, we're going to talk about an Apple TV Plus show, Lessons in Chemistry.
The only constant variable is the unexpected. We can't control it. It's only when you look backwards that you see how it was all connected. Let's begin, shall we?
This one aired a while ago, so I feel like a lot of people may have kind of forgotten about it a little bit, but it is definitely still in the conversation thanks to, I would say, Brie Larson and Louis Pullman, who portray such incredible characters, especially Brie Larson, because the empowering woman that she plays is something that in today's world we need to see more of on screen. It's a really timely series to watch right now.
Yeah, it's a period piece, but the fact is that a lot of the issues that they deal with in Lessons in Chemistry are relevant today. Some of your best period pieces are really, really relevant now. Brie Larson's already been nominated for SAG, for Globes. This is a series that's already sort of been well recognized.
Yeah, and she is very, very beloved by most of the awards pundits out there. So I think that there's a good chance that we could see her at least earn a nomination, but I really hope the show overall gets that love because, again, Louis Pullman also really pulled it through.
When we're talking about period pieces, Masters of the Air
came from every corner of the country with a common purpose.
Go, 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 go!
To bring the war to Hitler's doorstep.
The third installment of the trilogy that started way back with Band of Brothers and then moved on to the Pacific. And we know those two were Emmy catnip.
Yes.
Both of those won miniseries and they won several awards, some of the most awards of all time. So that automatically puts Masters of the Air in the conversation. And then you have a cast like Austin Butler and Callum Turner and Barry Keoghan. So right there, reason enough to expect them to get some love with the Emmy voters.
And it comes off of Austin Butler having such a huge movie career recently that I think people are talking about this and people have been watching him and what he's doing. And so he, of course, might be the reason you start watching. And then there is so much else because the entire supporting cast, Anthony Boyle in that blew me away. So I think there's certain people in it that really draw you in. The characters, the writing, it's all there. The same way that the Pacific and Band of Brothers drew you in. The writing is just so incredible.
And World War II seems to be never ending. People are still obsessed with World War II stories.
More than ever.
The fact that it's also telling the story of the birth of the Air Force and how that impacted things in World War II is a fresh way to take that Band of Brothers Pacific formula and do it with a special twist.
Yeah, absolutely. And another show that's very beautifully shot and it's gorgeous to watch. It's devastating, also very gorgeous.
Devastating. Now let's give our picks for shows bubbling under that we'd like voters to consider. Emily?
All right, I'm going to kick off with Fellow Travelers.
These people are dangerous to this country.
I look out at that city and think about what it denies us.
We lie about who we sleep with. Not who we sleep with, it's who we love.
Now, this is a Showtime original with Matt Bomer and Jonathan Bailey, and I will say this story, while it does not take place in present day, it tells such a powerful story that is still so relevant today. It's a really great love story, but very devastating, and we've been wanting to see this story on TV for a long time, and they both put on quite a performance.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What about you?
So I mentioned how Night Country, True Detective Night Country is at the end of the world. Well, so is A Murder at the End of the World.
You're afraid.
Terrified.
There's something going on that we don't fully understand. You're just another guest on a retreat.
Also shot in Iceland. In some ways, it is a trend. This was a whodunit with Emma Corrin at the heart of it, who was fantastic in this. Great mystery that touches also on wealth. It touches on power. Clive Owen is a perfect baddie in this as well. You could feel the cold while watching this, and the mystery was really enveloping and really kept you going throughout the entire series.
Yeah, and it was a nice way to see a different side of Emma Corrin because we hadn't since The Crown.
Yeah.
So it was really, really great to see Emma in that role.
Yeah, I feel like not enough people ended up talking about it, but I think if you haven't revisited A Murder at the End of the World, you definitely should.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that's it for now. Join us again next time for another edition of Awards Circuit.
Thanks for watching.